Welcome to Radio Express World News, presented by Vibha Ramesh, Los Angeles, United States. The United States set another record on Wednesday with over 60,000 new cases of COVID-19. Despite the surge, President Trump is keen on reopening schools, which in turn will enable parents to go to work, thereby creating an economic resurgence. In a bid to effectuate his demand, he has put pressure on government's top public health experts to minimize the recommendations meted out for the safe reopening and functioning of schools. Further, he has threatened to slash funding for districts that decline to resume in-person classes this fall. The guidelines created by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention were rejected by Trump, stating that they are very tough and expensive guidelines. A quick look at the CDC guidelines: proper hygiene, the use of cloth face coverings, modified seating layouts that allow for social distancing, a backup staffing plan, physical barriers, and closing of communal spaces. Looking at the current coronavirus toll, Oklahoma is facing a surge now with a single-day record reaching over 600 cases on Wednesday. Top health officials say that this surge may have resulted from an indoor campaign rally held there by Trump last month. On the East Coast, New Jersey has adopted a strict face mask order, while New York has released a plan to reopen schools with only 2 to 3 days of in-person classes in view of the soaring new cases of COVID-19. A day after testing positive for coronavirus, the Brazilian president is still dismissive of the advantages of observing the safety guidelines like social distancing, mask wearing, and other stipulated measures that help reduce the transmission of the virus. Bolsonaro continues to endorse hydroxychloroquine. "I trust hydroxychloroquine," he said. "I'm doing much better than I was," he added. "It's working." However, the FDA had warned against the downsides of hydroxychloroquine, and the National Institutes of Health stopped a clinical trial of the disputed drug. At a time when the entire globe is waiting for a drug that can cure patients infected with coronavirus, scientists, doctors, and academicians from India and the US are coming together to develop and test Ayurvedic formulations to treat patients with COVID-19. Commenting on the team effort by the two nations, the Indian ambassador to the US, Taranjeet Singh Sandhu, said, "Our institutions have also been collaborating to promote Ayurveda through joint research, teaching, and training programs. Ayurvedic practitioners and researchers in both the countries are planning to initiate joint clinical trials of Ayurvedic formulations against COVID-19. Italy halted 135 Bangladeshis from disembarking at the airport on Wednesday. This move was made as flights from Bangladesh had been banned for a week following a case where several passengers that flew in from Dhaka on Monday tested positive for COVID-19. Addressing the situation, the Italian Prime Minister has sought help from the European Union to aid in coordinating safety measures for arrivals from outside Europe. Meanwhile, in Hong Kong, after months of recording just a few or no new single-day infections, the city has entered a third wave of infections with 38 new cases registered between Tuesday and Wednesday. Good news is, the death toll remains in single digits, and the recent transmission has been traced to have come from a nursing home and 2 restaurants. Tokyo is battling a crisis of a different sort when floods and mudslides swept hundreds of people and killed at least 60 on Thursday. Floods caused by heavy rains have affected parts of Nagano and Gifu, both of which are tourist destinations. Over 300 people, including tourists and hotel employees, were trapped as the main road connecting 2 small towns was heavily impacted due to the floods. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison announced on Thursday that the country has suspended its extradition treaty with Hong Kong and that it will be issuing a range of visas as also pathways to permanent residency. However, the number of residents eligible for visa extension is not yet known. It may be only a matter of time before the European Union and the United States reopen travel between the allied regions. Mike Pompeo, Secretary of State, announced that talks are on to devise a monitoring system that would protect the health of travelers while kickstarting transatlantic economies. With that, we come to the end of this news bulletin. Thank you for joining us. Please stay tuned for the next program on Radio Express. To receive Radio Express English news and English programs in your WhatsApp, please send a WhatsApp message, English programs, to 90727 95547. And please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Radio Express. Thank you.